Hello, everybody. Raul Luna here and Mr. Jason Buzi. We're founders of Biz Growth Mastery.
I want to talk to you about two very different business models. One is being a solopreneur, and the other one is basically a team builder.
So what do you think is best? Do you prefer to be a solopreneur, or do you prefer to have a team, around you, or a team that actually can lead the path?
Well, one of the reasons that I'm actually personally very excited about Biz Growth Mastery is building that team, because until now I feel like I've been mostly a solopreneur. Almost every endeavor that I've done, maybe occasionally I got a little bit of outside help, but I didn't really build a team. And now I'm excited to do that because I know you will have a lot of experience with that. In real estate, I know we also see people that have both.
Right.
I've always gravitated more towards doing it myself. And recently I hired a couple people.
Why is that? Why do you prefer to do solopreneuring versus building a team around?
I guess I always thought it'd be a headache to hire people and retain people, and in this kind of business of real estate, maybe especially.
Right.
Maybe I'm biased and maybe I'm wrong, but I always thought like, okay, there's a lot of flaky people.
Right.
Because everybody thinks you can get rich really quick, or they just try to do the same thing. So I just tended to, okay, I'll just do it myself. You've heard this. If you want to go fast, go alone.
Right.
But if you want to go far, go together. So I guess it got me fast, but it only gets you so far.
I'm of a believer that you can do both. You can literally go fast and farther with a team.
With a team.
With a team. Now, does it take time to build that team? Yes. I'll give you a big differentiating factor that you got to do when you're building teams. You got to have, the vision must be clear. Okay, you got to have vision. You got to have core values. You got to have a system, and you got to have rewards and recognition.
Say those again slower.
Basically, you got to have a very clear vision, and you got to know how to communicate that vision to the team. And let me explain. What is, a vision? It's the outcome, is basically the end goal. Not that you're going to end there, but it is the end goal that you're aiming for, right? Second, you got to have core values, and you got to know and be really good at communicating those core values. The core values, it's how do you want the organization to behave? So you're going to set certain core values, and those are going to be the triggers of behavior.
Company culture?
Yes, company culture, core values. The third one is it's basically having systems. So you got to have systems because it will give you the ability for people to know when to do things at what time and time frames and how to go about that. But then at the same time, you got to know how to communicate those systems and teach people to do it. And then last but not least is rewards and recognition. People will do more for a recognition that will, that they will ever do for money. Yeah, money, they will do it, and it is important, but they will do more for recognition. You've got to be on top of those things. People think that when you're when you're doing solopreneuring, that you don't have to do it. I can tell you one thing, to a degree it's true, but I have an argument to that you still need to know, where you're going. And if you're not going to be optimizing yourself most of the time. At the end of the day, whether you're doing it solo or whether you're doing it team building, you still have to have those four if you really want to do it in a major way.
I can see definitely the advantage of building a team.
What do you think? What do you think is the? Tell me about the advantages of being a solopreneur.
I'll tell you the advantages. Yeah. The advantages is basically you're not accountable to anybody but yourself.
Okay.
You're not accountable to anybody but yourself.
Okay.
Usually you have less overhead because you're not paying salaries, offices, and things like that.
Okay. Less overhead.
Maybe more flexibility on your schedule.
More flexibility in your schedule.
Yeah, that's the main ones.
Now let me share the cons. You share the pros. Let me share the cons.
Yeah.
The cons is when you travel or when you. I don't like the word vacation.
Yeah.
But let's use it for the better,
Sure.
for the lack of a better word. When you go on vacation, your check tends to go in vacation, or you have to work during the vacation,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
You're limited to what you can do by your own self, which you can't really scale a business unless you use maybe technology or something like that.
Correct.
Or systems, but once again, you're limited. Whatever happens to you, the business is gone. To a degree, you're always in danger because you're a one-man show or one-woman show. Anything that can hold you back will hold you back.
You are the business.
You are the business, basically.
You are the business.
So those are the things that pop into my head.
Definitely. I think in an ideal world, it is better actually to have a team. I think that takes certain skills to build, which you mentioned some of the things that are required. I have personally struggled with it because when I did try to do it, I had a lot of flaky people, and then I had a lot of people that just tried to do stuff either on their own or they didn't follow through. But I think, Raul, you really figured out how to motivate people and how to get the right employees and how to find the right people to join your team. If you're going to build a team, I had people that I thought would be good and they end up being flakes. If you're going to build a team, you have to be very picky and have a process for picking people. You can't just say, oh, okay, this sounds good. Let me build a team. Let me hire 5 people. Put an ad on Craigslist or Indeed and just hire whoever.
I think it goes back to having the vision, the core values, the systems, and the rewards and recognition. When you develop the ability, which I think you have it, of communicating that very well to people, people gravitate. People want to follow people that they know that they're going someplace. That someplace, the promised land, call it the promised land, that is going to change their lives as well. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So I'll give you the pros of building teams, and then you come up with the cons of the team building, right? The great things about team building is your business doesn't depend just on you. You're building it together with other business associates or employees or team builders, however you want to call them. You're teaching others how to contribute into the vision. The vision should not only just help you grow, should help them grow. So you get to have a business that grows with other people's in mind. You help them grow. They will help you grow because when you want to take a vacation, the check or the income doesn't go into vacation if you're doing things right. You will be able to pass the torch if you're actually building it right. If you're building it right, you will be able to pass the torch to someone eventually so that they can run the business. You can scale, you can go fast, you can go obviously farther. You can have teams that if you develop them into a responsible leaders, they will eventually be able to do more. You could do more without you being saturated. I'll give you an example. Team building, there's things that I don't enjoy doing. And if it wasn't because I have teams that they do enjoy doing them, I would be screwed. I don't like doing accounting. I don't like doing the bookkeeping. But I have to hire people for that area. And I'm not talking the CPA. I'm not talking a bookkeeper, an outside bookkeeper. I'm talking about full-time people.
Really? Full-time.
Right? So it's full-time. And I got right now my personal assistant. So ever since I started real estate investing, I've had a personal assistant. I joke about this, but this is absolutely true. My assistant, when I first started this journey, would make more money than I was making. And the only reason why I was absolutely brutally okay with that, it was because I knew where I was headed. I knew that eventually that was gonna turn around. So, among many other things, you have obviously the freedom if you eventually develop it right of saying one of the things that I'm working right now, and it's a tough one. I'm not saying it's easy. It's how can I fire myself? How can I truly honestly fire myself? I've given myself a year from now, and that's why I continue to hire other people. You get to impact the world in a bigger scale. Being a leader and developing other leaders, it will take time, but you got to know that you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for a bigger cause. If I help them grow, they will help everybody else grow as well. Now, those are part of the pros on it. I've experienced where I can go to an event, properties are being purchased while I'm in the event, and where I don't have to answer the phone, where I don't have to be there, or when I could go into a vacation and I don't have to be answering the phone. I've experienced those moments, and I think when you build teams, you just need to understand that you have a bigger cause, a bigger vision than what you could have alone. So those are the pros. I'm pretty sure there's many more. Now, cons, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of them as well.
Let me ask
But
you,
I think that pros are still bigger than cons.
And I think it is if you build it right. Again, if you build it right. Personally, I have struggled with finding the right people. If I'm right now with you developing skills to find better people, because if you find the people who are the right fit, then I think that building a team is very powerful.
But can I tell you something though? It's going to be very contradictory.
Okay.
I don't think that there's I don't think that there's the right or wrong people. I think it's
you. You think it's you?
No, I think it's a
the process.
it's a compilation of a lot of things. It's let me tell you why. The wrong person could be wrong for that seat, but it could be the right for another seat. Does it make sense? So
so you're saying it's more about like creating the right processes and systems, and what you said was reward and recognition, all these different, and the company culture, you can put it a different way, but all these different components is really what's important, not about saying the right people.
Yeah. The thing is this, for me to get to the right people, when I had those 4 pillars and I'm dead clear, I hire and fire based on those things.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, if somebody doesn't get a culturized on what the company is, then they themselves kind of pull themselves out. Now, keep this in mind, okay? And this is and this may shock some of the viewers because it is true, and I'm speaking absolutely no filters, basically no filters whatsoever. Even the right people, or if we consider the right people, they will still waste time and make mistakes and blow it and try to do shortcuts and things like that. Yeah. So it's really, it really boils down to what is the seat, and if you got the overall pillars that will help you navigate so that it weeds out the ones that don't belong in that seat.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
So, but there's obviously there's cons. You got to deal with people emotions, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, people would one con be people just trying to copy your business, steal your business, take everything from you.
Absolutely.
Even copy like
they'll steal from you.
They'll literally steal from you. Literally steal. From you. I mean, somebody was embezzling. A friend of mine who has a wholesaling business in Portland, Oregon, and he found out his bookkeeper, who was like his friend, worked with him for many years, was basically
they will literally steal from you. They will literally create invoices that shouldn't be there.
Exactly.
Or they will give the business to somebody that they know. I mean, so that's gonna happen. Yeah. When you're this is the thing. When you're looking for growth, which is what we all should be doing,
right?
Expect that you're gonna go through turmoil. Yeah. It's just part of life. I mean, so people are gonna steal from you.
Yeah.
People are gonna want to copy your model and just do it, do it for themselves. They're gonna use your system as a paid university. But you know that I have people that literally, I have people. I'm not gonna mention their names. They may watch this video, but that came to our company. And the day they were taking their real estate exam, they reported themselves sick. How I found out is when I basically fired them because they like you.
Oh, you mean they called in sick?
They were in my company. They came in. I hired them.
Yes.
And then when they needed to take certain tests, they couldn't tell me directly. Hey, listen, I want to become a real estate agent, or I want to become.
So they were just coming to you to learn, basically.
To learn, to get paid,
right?
To grab it, suck everything that they could.
Yeah.
But the day that they were taking the exam, they reported themselves sick.
Got it. Yeah.
So that's gonna happen. You're gonna get.
I guess I think about like, I agree with you. I mean, I guess I think about like McDonald's, like everything that you said is probably happened. I'm sure happened at McDonald's. Like, are there employees that steal at McDonald's?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course. Are there companies that built their whole business copying from McDonald's?
Yeah, absolutely.
But could McDonald's have become McDonald's with one man running it? No, obviously, no. Ridiculous. They had to build an organization. They had to build a team. They had to build franchisees. Each store has, or restaurant has like 20 employees or more. And so, yeah, at the end of the day, he's right. But I have to say, you have to learn how to build that team, those 4 pillars, because if you're just not going to do it right, then you're better off being a solopreneur. I didn't do it right. Every time I've tried to hire, it hasn't really worked out. But I'm also in the fortunate situation I can buy and sell a house, make 200,000, 300,000, so I can make 7 figures without a team. Most people are not in that situation. So if they really want to be successful, they have to build a team. And even now, in this business we're doing together, Raul, I'm very excited that we're building a team.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited as well. I think Biz Growth Mastery is just gonna give the opportunity to many solopreneurs that are watching this,
Yeah.
and even people that already have teams, that your business should be growing. If you're not growing, you're dying. There's no such a thing as maintaining. There's no such a thing, as let me just share this. If next year you're doing the same revenue that you did last year, you're dying. You're not sustaining, you're not maintaining. And
Yeah.
to me, I think it's at the end, it's really a question of, is the vision bigger than the challenges that you're gonna have to overcome by building a team? And if it is, then that's
Yeah.
the way to go. And if it's not, then that's when I feel that there's going to be struggles and struggles and struggles. I mean, don't get me wrong. There was at one point that I was doing things alone, that I would bring people. I would have to, I guess at the beginning I would do things completely wrong. Like I would hire fast and fire slow. When it should be the opposite way.
Yeah.
It should be hire slow and fire fast, or hire fast and fire faster.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hasn't been easy, but I'm very grateful that I've always stood there, because at the end of the day, I don't want to have just an impact in my family. I think the impact should be around the world, and that's why we decided to build Biz Growth Mastery, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome.
All right.
So, get to see you in the next episode. Congratulations. We're excited for you to determine to go ahead and build your team. Let me tell you why. It's much better. Eventually, is the people that you're going to impact that ultimately you are going to go through challenges, my friend. And you just got to ask yourself if your vision is bigger than those challenges. And if it is, let's do it.
And stay tuned here, because we're going to give you a lot of tips and tricks and strategies that are going to help you grow your business in all different areas, especially some of the latest marketing that's going on, but much more than that as well.
Absolutely. Get to see you in the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you.